You'll end up hanging out to dry on an indictment.
Shit. I got too big a mouth. Now I'm really gonna have to do something about you, Kate.
It's not gonna happen.
Trust me. You're dead.
And you're alive.
Tsering is just 16. In her little village high in the Nepalese Himalayas, her family prepares for her wedding. Like any other marriage, a ritual celebration is underway. Like any other marriage, Tsering's mother will help her dress, offer her advice, and when the time comes for Tsering to be taken away, she will grieve the loss of a daughter. Unlike marriage in the West, Tsering is betrothed to 4 brothers, the youngest half her own age. This is the story of The Dragon Bride, Under the Sun, Thursday, 9:35 on BBC2.
Michel Foucault is one of the most influential thinkers of our age. Since his death of AIDS in 1984, he has acquired almost mythical status, a lone figure exploring the dark labyrinths of modern experience.
He was constantly feeling he was on the edge of something, constantly trying to reach the limit.
A late show special tonight at 11:15 on BBC2. The stories behind the day's headlines now on BBC2 with Jeremy Paxman and Newsnight.
We pay for the party. We have a right to democracy in the party because, never forget, it is our party too.
look new studio, but a familiar enough problem for the leader of the Labour Party. John Smith tries to rein back the trades unions which created his party, and they've told him to take a hike. Can he really be the first Labour leader to take on the unions and win? John Edmonds, leader of the Leviathan GMB, thinks he's no chance. Tony Blair, Shadow Home Secretary, thinks reforming the link may be Labour's only chance. Plus, an exclusive report from America on the victims of Desert Storm syndrome. Could they be Allied casualties of American anti-tank weapons tipped with depleted uranium?
I don't know what I'm going to tell her when she's 2 years old and she looks in the mirror and she says, well, how come I look this way?
As the Maastricht Bill reaches the Lords, Lady Thatcher rises to her feet and bellows her familiar anti-Maastricht call. But is it losing its effect with repetition? And is the man who she feels betrayed her, John Major, now safe from her barbs?
I'll be asking Lord Rees-Mogg, the man who thinks John Major shouldn't have risen beyond Deputy Chief Whip, whether the Lords have the right to question the Prime Minister's authority. And we test the test which 600,000 14-year-olds by and large haven't sat today. Newsnight's guinea pigs completed the papers and an English teacher opposed to the test has marked them for us. How can she justify denying her pupils the chance to be assessed? It's something of an achievement for an opposition leader to be simultaneously 24 points ahead of the government and decried by his own supporters and paymasters as inept and lethargic. But that's John Smith's unenviable position. Tonight, his predicament is worse than it need have been. Two of the biggest unions in Britain have rejected his plans to cut the power of the union vote in party elections, something strategists say cost Labour the last election. No one forced Mr. Smith to fight the battle for one member, one vote, and in suffering such an early rebuff, he's dug himself something of a hole. If ever there were a Labour target, Hayes in West London is it. In an area ravaged by the recession, a mere 53 votes kept the local Tory MP in his seat at the last election. Local activists believe that if they're going to win it next time round, they need the unions. So John Edmonds was singing their song.
I think it's a good thing. I think the Labour Party should be looking for maximum involvement from the unions, not sidelining them. I think they were marginalised and played a very small role in the last general election, and as a result the Labour Party didn't put up any alternatives.
The links with the Labour Party are very important. The Labour Party comes from the trade union, it's the political wing of the trade union movement, and the trade unions have won some significant benefits for the people of Britain, decent working conditions, and people got to remember that, remember the good things and be proud of the union link.
In Portsmouth, John Edmonds made it clear that even so-called moderate unions like his, with a membership which includes John Smith, weren't prepared to be pushed any further by him.
We support the party, we pay for the party, we have a right to democracy in the party, because never forget, it is our party too.
Within hours of the GMB vote, another big union, the National Union of Public Employees, also came out against one member, one vote. The numbers are beginning to look very bad for Mr. Smith. Come decision time at this autumn's Labour conference, the big six unions will control around 50% of the votes. The GMB and NUPE will cast their 1.3 million votes against Mr. Smith. They'll join 634,000 votes from the Manufacturers' Union and the shop workers.